Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Gem Knight deck profile for November 2017. Been meaning to give an update to this deck profile since post-Link format. It's really powerful with cards like Mrs. Radiant and a bunch of the other Link monsters included with this deck, just allowing for a lot more resources you can do with the field swarming potential that this deck has, and I wanted to make full use of it in this deck profile, so let's go ahead and get started. For starters, for your vanilla monsters, I run 2 Gem Knight Tourmaline. Now I like to kind of balance out different normal monsters in the deck that can be used for your basic plays. And I like that the 2 Tourmaline are my main go-to, aside from Garnet, which we'll get to in a sec. Same with Gem Knight Lapis. I run 2 of this card as well. Basically, I run this card for the fact that you can search out and go for your fusion of Lady Lapis Lazuli, which is a very powerful card in the extra deck, basically, for that burn damage for special summon monsters you control, which you can hit a lot with this deck. And I don't like to think that it's too limited with the basic fusion summon and the extra monster zone limit anymore, since it's very easy with cards like Mrs. Radiant to make full use of all your earth monsters that you run in the deck for the Link summon. And I also run 3 Gem Knight Sardonyx. This card's basically in here as a proxy substitute for Gem Knight Garnet. I would definitely run Garnet over this card. I just didn't have any Garnet to put into the deck. Otherwise, I didn't want to, just show some Garnet and not show all of them with the ones I do have. But definitely put Garnet in. It has the same Pyro requirements, so you can go into cards like Gem Knight Citrine and get that fusion summon off. So it's also the Rescue Rabbit target and the Unexpected Die target, just like Lapis and Tourmaline. And you don't really have to worry about the dead draw option with running 7 vanillas in the deck either, since most of them will be used for either the Link summon or the fusion summon of your Gem Knight monsters. And I also run 3 Gem Knight Obsidian. This is your go-to card for fusion summoning, basically because it can help get your resources back to the field. When this card is sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster in your graveyard. Basically, it's good because it helps you keep up and not minus yourself on any of your resources. Plus, the field swarming helps so you can get back monsters to use for Link summoning. Depending on what you sent, you'll be able to get back plenty of your vanilla monsters from the grave to the field to be used for some bigger plays later on. The same with Gem Knight Lazuli. This card, instead of special summoning though, adds it to the hand, so you can use it for resources for cards like Gem Knight Prismora, which get effects by destroying cards on the field by discarding Gem Knight cards from your hand to the field. So with this, it's also a go-to card for your basic send effects for the Brilliant Fusion, since this card doesn't specify that it has to be sent from the hand to the graveyard, it just has to be sent to the graveyard. So there are plenty of other effects which we'll get to in this deck to make full use of that. Another one of my favorites in the deck is Gem Armadillo. I am running 3 of this card solely for the fact that with Brilliant Fusion you can get 2 of these normal summons off and get 2 searches, meaning you can then Link summon with the Seraphonite you potentially have on the field and one of the Armadillos to go into Mrs. Radiant, giving you 2 more arrows to point to for fusion summoning, meaning one of the arrows can be used with the other Armadillo to go into Zirconia and potentially have 1 more spot for an all-out powerful attack with that setup on the field. And also 2 Crystal Rose. I like this card still in the deck for its special summoning capabilities, easy name copying as well for your fusion summons. Plus it's a light monster, so it's another target if need be for your Gem Knight Seraphonite play. Plus 1 Gem Turtle, just for the search. With this and Absorb Fusion in the deck, you need to get Gem Knight Fusion to your hand just to keep up your consistent refusioning of plays. So this card helps with that search just by the set and go off of. It's a 1-turn play, but I like to have that 1 card option in the deck if need be. And also 1 Perform Mage Trick Clown. This is just last field swarm option that you can use with Gem Knight Seraphonite, meaning that you have your special summon capabilities if you want to go into cards like Decode Talker or some of your Exceed monsters that you run using this as your resource after the send, so you don't have to, it's basically, like I said, full potential on the Brilliant Fusion. You have that target option to go for if need be. And lastly, I run 1 Rescue Rabbit, but if you wanted to mix and match this card depending on your play style by taking out cards like Gem Turtle or Crystal Rose, maxing the full 3, you can go for that. You have plenty of targets for the 3 using Lapis, Tourmaline, and Garnet in the deck, so no need to worry. It's, like I said, player preference depending on how many of this card you wanted to run. And that is it for the monsters. We'll move on to spells. I run 3 Gem Knight Fusion. This card is your main go-to card, aside from Brilliant Fusion, excuse me, for your fusion plays. It's just so good. I love that so many of the fusion cards in the deck now have a second ability. Should All Fusion was a big one. That one allows you to basically fusion summon from the main deck to the graveyard. This one allows you to recycle this card from your graveyard by banishing a Gem Knight monster in your graveyard to add it back to your hand, meaning you can use it for cards like Prism Aura, or you can save it and then use it for another refusion. As long as you have the banish, it's not once per turn either, so you can keep on re-adding it to your hand. It's just way too good off of that option. And like I said, one of the most important cards in the play, because it just sets up so many of your plays with the Link monsters, is Brilliant Fusion. I want to play this card at full max potential as long as I can in this deck. Basically the deck that it was meant for, the Gem Knight deck, but it's being used by decks all over for its broken capabilities. And like I said, still at 3, I want to use it as much as I can. Until then, either they'll hit Seraphonite or Brilliant Fusion. I guess we'll have to wait and see if they fully go through on that promise or not. But the summon of potentially any Gem Knight also helps. Most of the time you do want to go for Seraphonite, because Seraphonite has that extra normal summon, like I said, with the Armadillo, and then you'll link summon into Mrs. Radiant with those resources you've acquired. And then also 3 Absorb Fusion. This card is for your add effect. You can add Gem Knight Fusion off this card. It also has sort of the Miracle Fusion play from your hand or field, but it kind of restricts you, because you have to know how to play around this card with the search, since you can only special summon Gem Knight monsters that turn. So know when to use this card potentially, or know when to just end for the turn, making sure your resources on the field and summon qualities are taken care of. Also 2 Unexpected Die, just with the amount of normal monsters you run, potentially very good. In the deck, always go for the Garnet if need be, since that's the one I run 3 of in the deck, depending on what you hit with your Rabbit plays first also. And also 1 Dark Factory of Mass Production. This is just to re-add your normal monsters to your hand. Most of the time you're going to want to go for the Obsidian or the Lazulis in the graveyard for your banish of the Gem Knight Fusion. Spell card back to your hand, so leaving your normals in the graveyard to reuse again. And I also run 1 Foolish Burial. This is for Lazuli, for the add back effect, meaning you basically grabbing a monster to your card by sending Lazuli off this and then re-adding. Just make sure you are aware of that. And also 1 Soul Charge. This is just, you don't pay life really at all in this deck for card effects, so this card just grabs you back your resources to reuse, whether it be for Link Summon or Fusion Summon. 1 Upstart Goblin for the draw power, just to reach your resources faster once you thin out the deck of searches and whatnot. And I also run 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Easy to get now, so no sense in not to run this card. Gets rid of basically potential cards that get the destruction effect, so just good to sit on, taking care of spell and traps the easiest way. I guess, this is the one thing you have to watch out for if you do want to run Twin Twister, because you don't want to burn the 1,000 damage off of this, because you want to save it for Soul Charge. You have that option as well. But mixed and matched, it wasn't too bad for me in the deck. And lastly, 1 Regeki. This is just because this deck swarms very fast. You could potentially go for the kill with the monsters you have yet alone. You just need to clear your opponent's bow. I cannot speak after that. Board to take care of that, and this card is the grade A card to go to for that. And then moving on to the extra deck, 2 Gem Knight Seraphonites. Pretty standard, it's your main go-to Brilliant Fusion card. The extra normal summon, and then just using this for the Link summon, as I've stated probably now for the 3rd time. Your most powerful play in the deck, guaranteed. Make full use of it. Play it as it was meant to be played in a Gem Knight deck for as long as we can. Don't let it be ruined like Speedroid. Terratop was ruined for Speedroids. Full power to the Gem Knights. Also 1 Gem Knight Citrine. This is your basically your Adrius of the deck. Opponent can't activate anything when this card attacks. Very strong fusion to use as your first attack. Also 1 Prism Aura. This is the card that you discard a Gem Knight card from your hand to the graveyard. Target 1 face-up card on the field. Destroy it. Good for popping field spells, continuous spells. Can't go wrong there. I basically was able to get rid of an anti-spell fragrance that was keeping me from my fusion plays using that card. 2 Gem Knight Zirconia, just another good one because it's a target for fusion with the turtle and the armadillo as well. 1 Lady Lapis Lazuli. This is for the special summon with the Lapis. The special summon burned as well. Can make or break a game. Plus got pretty good attack stats as well for using such a low attack point monster. And also 1 Lady Brilliant Diamond and 1 Master Diamond. Just some powerful play cards that if you go off of Soul Charge or any of those other cards, very easy to summon these heavy hitters to the field. And 1 Topaz, just for the basically the Tourmaline. If you wanted to run Ruby, you can do that as well, since most of the decks will be running Garnet instead of the Sardonyx. And then for the generics, I run 1 number 41 Baguska and 1 Tornado Dragon for your Xyz summon plays. And for the Link monsters, 2 Mrs. Radiant for your easy use of Earth monsters to gain your 2 arrow access, and 1 Decode Talker for your more powerful Link play if need be, to go up against your opponent's Baguskas or anything that could, basically have that defense capability that you want to work around. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, always taking ideas for future deck profiles. So if you guys got any ideas, I'd love to hear them. Just comment down below what you'd like to see and what you guys thought of the deck. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Twig out.